Been experiencing the Huawei P70 Pro for over a month now. Today I'm going to chat with everyone about this phone. Let's start with the conclusion. I believe this is currently the most valuable for your money, the highest cost performance Huawei flagship. Looking from the exterior aspect, I believe the Huawei P70 Pro's recognizability is very high. The sense of refinement can be felt instantly when held. The texture is a standard that other domestic flagships can't achieve. Its screen is comparatively slender compared to the Huawei Mate 60 series. It has a better ongoing hand feel. The screen's transparency is not as bad as stated online. Yet the camera bump on the Huawei P70 Pro is relatively large. Ultimately, it's packed with a large camera module. This is unavoidable. Additionally, the device's weight is up to 220 grams if you're used to those thin and light phones. The moment you handle the Huawei P70 Pro, you'll feel it has a certain heft. Of course, if we look from the performance or fluidity perspective, I believe Huawei P70 Pro, though it's limited by hardware, but it is very fluid when used. If you're only looking at the specification level, the Kirin 9000S processor is not the currently strongest performance chip. After all, there are inherent limitations, but compared to the previous generation of Kirin 9000, there's an upgrade. Especially in terms of limiting body heat, it performs better if you use it to play games. You'll have a very profound feeling. It obviously doesn't heat up as easily as the Mate 60 series, and power consumption has slightly decreased. Battery life is further strengthened. Of course, many people would say that people who buy P70 Pro generally don't pay attention to playing games, so in terms of daily fluidity, with the optimization based on the Harmony OS system, it can indeed offer very fluid and smooth use. If you're a Huawei ecosystem user, for instance, you have Huawei watches, Huawei notebooks, Huawei headphones and other products, linking them with the mobile for use. The experience would be really good. As for the flaws in the system, perhaps it's that Huawei truly needs to slightly control the advertising. After all, this is a high-end model. It should provide users with a better user experience in terms of charging and battery life endurance. A battery of 5050 mAh plus 100 watts of fast charging, it's really comfortable to use. If you don't play the game, meet the use of one day, there is no big problem. 100 watts of fast charging, it can be charged to about 30% in 10 minutes. The experience is also much better than the previous 66W fast charging. As for taking pictures, I see a lot of people spitting RIYB scheme for Huawei P70 Pro, think it is more prone to bias shots, and calculations sometimes go wrong. But judging from my experience of using it for a while, I think the Huawei P70 Pro, regardless of whether it is a mobile phone to take pictures, it's still remarkable, it made a decent shot. Perception color, the texture is still good. Clarity is also sufficient, although it is said that there are traces of sharpening, but for the average user. This is equivalent to saving the trouble of later stages, and in terms of telephoto shooting, it's twice the zoom. 3.5x zoom, the play is very stable. Basically, you can make a film at hand. It won't be like other models. Presence unbiased and 10x zoom afterward, because there is a calculation audition. It can also be recorded quickly, something farther away. For example, we use it to shoot PPT every day, or like a telescope. Look at the font of the billboard in the distance. It's still quite convenient. Finally, there is the price. Starting pricing at 6,499 RMB. It's also true that it's not cheap, Huawei. Brand one by one is laid out there. But then again, I think this phone is the same. Huawei is currently a flagship inside. The best model to buy, it is more than the Huawei P60. The standard version is more material compared to the Huawei Mate 60 series. There was a better experience too. And recently, it has also gradually come into stock. It's easier to buy more. I don't know what you think. How about the Huawei P670 Pro like this? Feel free to leave a comment and let us know what you think. Let's talk about it.